The Emirates Stadium was buzzing with anticipation, a cauldron of noise and color. The air was thick with excitement, as fans from both sides filled the stands, their voices echoing through the North London night. Every seat was taken, and the sense of occasion was unmistakable. This was more than just a football match. It was a return to the grandest stage for Arsenal, and a test of PSG's European ambitions. Arsenal, back in the Champions League semi-final after a 16-year wait, were eager to make their mark against the French giants, PSG. The players looked focused as they emerged from the tunnel, soaking in the roar of their supporters. For many in red and white, this was a night they had dreamed of for years, a chance to prove themselves against one of Europe's elite. However, the home crowd's cheers were silenced just 4 minutes into the match. The energy that had built up so feverishly was suddenly sucked out of the stadium, replaced by a collective gasp of disbelief. Ousmane Dembélé, a constant thorn in Arsenal's side, found the back of the net with a clinical finish. His movement off the ball was sharp, and when the opportunity came, he made no mistake, slotting the ball past the helpless goalkeeper. The PSG fans erupted, their cheers piercing the stunned silence of the home crowd. The atmosphere, so electric moments before, was replaced by a stunned silence. Arsenal supporters, who had been singing and waving flags, now sat in disbelief, hands on heads trying to process what had just happened. The early setback was a harsh reminder of the quality PSG possessed. PSG, led by the brilliance of Kylian Mbappe and the creativity of Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, looked set to run riot. Every time they surged forward, they threatened to carve open the Arsenal defense, combining pace, skill, and vision in a way that left the home side scrambling. The French side's confidence grew with every passing minute, their supporters sensing that this could be a historic night. Mbappe, in particular, was a constant menace, darting between defenders and drawing fouls as Arsenal struggled to contain him. The early goal clearly rattled Arsenal. Players exchanged anxious glances, and the defense looked shaky as they tried to regroup. The pressure was mounting, and the home side knew they needed to respond quickly to avoid falling further behind. PSG's midfield, anchored by the ever-reliable Marco Verratti, controlled the tempo of the game. Verratti dictated play with his composure and vision, orchestrating attacks and breaking up Arsenal's attempts to build from the back. His presence allowed PSG to dominate possession and keep the Gunners chasing shadows. Arsenal struggled to cope with the pace and movement of the Parisian attack. Time and again, PSG's forwards found space in behind, forcing desperate tackles and last-ditch clearances from the home defense. The Gunners looked vulnerable, and the visitors sensed blood. For the first 20 minutes, it seemed like a long night awaited Mikel Arteta's men. The manager paced nervously on the touchline, urging his players to stay calm and stick to their game plan. But as the clock ticked on, the sense of urgency grew. Arsenal needed to find a response, or risk seeing their Champions League dream slip away before their eyes. Despite the early setback, Arsenal gradually began to impose themselves on the game. The opening minutes had been tense, with PSG looking sharp and confident, but the Gunners refused to be rattled. Instead, they started to settle into their passing rhythm, stringing together neat combinations and probing for weaknesses in the Parisian defense. The crowd sensed the shift in momentum, their voices growing louder with every Arsenal touch. The Gunners found their rhythm, with Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli providing much-needed attacking impetus down the flanks. Saka, with his trademark agility and close control, repeatedly took on his marker, while Martinelli's relentless energy kept the PSG full-backs pinned deep in their own half. Their pace and creativity began to stretch the opposition, opening up spaces that Arsenal's midfielders were eager to exploit. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey worked tirelessly in midfield, disrupting PSG's flow and winning crucial second balls. Their partnership was the engine room of Arsenal's resurgence, breaking up attacks and launching quick transitions. Xhaka's leadership and Partey's physicality gave Arsenal a solid platform, allowing the team to push forward with confidence. The momentum shifted, and Arsenal came agonizingly close to equalizing in the 32nd minute. A slick passing move saw the ball worked into the box, only for the final shot to flash just wide of the post. The Emirates crowd gasped in unison, sensing that an equalizer was within reach. A beautifully crafted move saw Martin Odegaard slip a perfectly weighted pass to Mikel Merino, who coolly slotted the ball past Gianluigi Donnarumma. The build-up was a testament to Arsenal's growing confidence, with quick 1-2s and intelligent movement pulling the PSG defense out of shape. Merino's finish was clinical, sending the home fans into raptures. The Emirates erupted in celebration, only to be silenced moments later as VAR intervened, ruling the goal out for a marginal offside. The tension was palpable as fans waited for the decision, and the disappointment was clear when the goal was chalked off. Yet the sense of injustice seemed to ignite a new fire within the Arsenal players. The disallowed goal seemed to galvanize Arsenal further. They pressed higher up the pitch, forcing PSG into mistakes. Every Arsenal player was now playing with renewed intensity, closing down space and harrying the opposition at every opportunity. The Gunners' pressing game was relentless, and PSG's defenders began to look increasingly uncomfortable on the ball. The Parisian defense, often criticized for its vulnerability, was beginning to creak under pressure. Arsenal's attacking waves came one after another, with the home side sensing that a breakthrough was only a matter of time. The energy in the stadium was electric, as the Gunners continued to push forward, determined to turn their dominance into a deserved equalizer. As Arsenal pushed for an equalizer, PSG looked to their talismanic goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, to preserve their lead. The Italian shot-stopper, a commanding presence between the sticks, produced a string of fine saves to keep Arsenal at bay. Donnarumma's reactions were lightning quick, denying Martinelli from close range with a stunning reflex save. He then showed remarkable agility to tip a curling effort from Leandro Trossard onto the crossbar. With every passing minute, Donnarumma grew in stature, frustrating the Arsenal attackers and keeping his team's Champions League dreams alive. His performance was a timely reminder of why he's considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. In a game of fine margins, Donnarumma's heroics proved to be the difference between a draw and a narrow defeat for Arsenal. While PSG held on to their slender lead, they will rue their missed opportunities to put the tie to bed. The French champions were guilty of profligacy in front of goal, spurning several golden opportunities to extend their advantage. Mbappe, usually so clinical in front of goal, was uncharacteristically wasteful. He raced clear of the Arsenal defense on 2 occasions, but saw his efforts sail agonizingly wide of the target. Substitute Bradley Barcola also had a glorious chance late on, but his shot lacked conviction and was comfortably saved by Aaron Ramsdale. These missed chances kept Arsenal in the tie, giving them a glimmer of hope for the return leg in Paris. PSG, despite their dominance, will know that the tie is far from over. Ousmane Dembélé was the star of the show for PSG. The French winger was, a constant menace to the Arsenal defense, with his pace, trickery, and direct running causing all sorts of problems. He was always a constant outlet for his teammates, always willing to run at the Arsenal backline and honestly create something out of nothing. His goal, a moment of individual brilliance, really set the tone for the evening. He picked up the ball on the right flank, cut inside past Kieran Tierney, and unleashed an unstoppable shot that cannoned in off the post. It was a goal worthy of winning any game. Dembele's performance will have given PSG fans a lot of hope for the second leg. If he can replicate this form in Paris, it's hard to see Arsenal keeping him quiet. The match was a significant one for both clubs, marking important milestones in their respective histories. For Arsenal, it was their first Champions League semi-final appearance since 2009, a testament to the progress they've made under Mikel Arteta. For PSG, the victory extended their impressive record against English clubs in the Champions League. They had already eliminated Manchester City, Liverpool and Aston Villa en route to the semi-finals, underlining their status as one of the tournament favourites. The atmosphere at the Emirates was electric, a testament to the magnitude of the occasion. The roar that greeted the teams as they walked out onto the pitch was deafening, a reminder of the passion and excitement that the Champions League evokes. While both teams boasted experienced campaigners, the match was also notable for the number of young players on display. The likes of Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and William Saliba for Arsenal, and Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, and Xavi Simons for PSG, all played their part in a pulsating encounter. These young players, unburdened by the weight of history and expectation, played with a fearlessness and freedom that was, honestly, pretty refreshing to see. They embraced the occasion, showcasing their talent on the biggest stage. Their performances bode well for the future of both clubs. In the years to come, these young stars will be looking to emulate the achievements of their predecessors and etch their names in Champions League folklore. PSG will head into the second leg in Paris with a slender 1-goal advantage. However, they will know that the tie is far from over. Arsenal, despite their defeat, showed enough to suggest that they are capable of getting a result at the Parc des Princes. The second leg promises to be another tense and closely fought encounter. PSG will be looking to finish the job on home soil and book their place in the final, while Arsenal will be hoping to overturn the deficit and pull off, a famous comeback. One thing is for sure, the tie will go right down to the wire. The second leg in Paris is set up to be an absolute cracker. The winner of this electrifying tie will earn the right to face either Inter Milan, the Italian giants who have a storied history in European football and a passionate fan base that dreams of continental glory once again. Or they could meet Barcelona, a club synonymous with flair, tradition, and unforgettable Champions League nights. Both Inter and Barcelona have tasted European success before, and both will be relishing the prospect of lifting the trophy in Munich. The anticipation is palpable, as fans from across the continent dream of seeing their team crowned champions. For PSG, the stakes could not be higher. For years, they have assembled star-studded squads, only to fall agonizingly short of the ultimate prize. The hunger within the club, from the players to the supporters, is immense. PSG will be desperate to finally claim their first Champions League title, to turn years of heartbreak into a moment of triumph that would echo through the ages. Their journey has been filled with drama, near misses, and unforgettable moments, but the final step has always eluded them. This season, however, there is a sense of destiny in the air, a belief that this could finally be their year to conquer Europe. Arsenal, meanwhile, are writing a new chapter under the guidance of Mikel Arteta. The Gunners have shown remarkable progress, blending youthful exuberance with tactical discipline. A Champions League triumph would not only be a crowning achievement for Arteta's project, but also a moment of redemption for a club that has come so close in the past. Their fans, who have waited so long for European glory, can almost taste the possibility of a night to remember in Munich. The road to the final is still long and fraught with challenges, but the prospect of these four European heavyweights battling it out for the most prestigious prize in club football is truly mouth-watering. The drama, the passion, and the sheer quality on display promise a finale worthy of the Champions League's rich legacy. As the countdown to Munich continues, football fans everywhere can only imagine the unforgettable moments that await on the grandest stage of all.